Hey guys, I just wanted to really run through all the stuff that I've prepared for like a daily, like a 3-day sort of survival bug out bag. And you know, this could even be a sort of basic, you know, Exodus bag. So I just want to run through quickly what prepared. Nothing really dress sense apart from maybe a good pair of boots. Here's my bag that I use. I got this from Blacks, very basic, not many compartments on it. Starting with the outside, and I'll work it in. On the outside, I've usually got Canteen for water, and this one comes with a little strap that I can just put over my shoulders. Put a couple of clips on the bag just for, you know, more accessibility, but you know, you can hang this over yourself while you're walking and drink at the same time. You don't have to stop and put your bag down. So there's Canteen for water, cold water. And then on the side here I've got a thermal flask for hot water. If you go in, let's say 3-day survival, and just want to say that I've just run through all these ideas. I'm not necessarily saying that these are the things that you should have in a day bug out bag, but these are just ideas. You may want to toss a few of these things off, especially when we get to the little box of tricks. But water is a primary. For cold container, I've got a thermal flask as a warm container in the side compartment. Also in these things in the top or in the side, the things I might want to have access to. And then in this pack, for those of you who may want to have peace of mind, we have a Soy Mini water filter. There's a bladder that you fill up with water, and then your filter just screws on the top there. You can either squeeze out, you can drink from there, or you also have a straw that comes with it that you could use. So there's a Soy Mini water filter. I think with that, well, covers water. So what other things have I got in here? Well, I've got in this top one, I've got some tent pegs here. This is for obviously nailing down any sort of cover that we're going to be using. I've got some extra plastic zip bags. This can be used for carrying things like, you know, some food, some berries. If you cooked up some meat, you can put it in the bag and bring it with you. So these are all in our top box, the top bag. Here's also a small battery bank USB, just for a little bit of extra power if your device goes flat. So that's all in there. Top box. Also a pair of gloves if you're working on a shelter or whatever, or gathering tinder, gathering wood. A good pair of gloves is nice. You know, it's a bit of a waste of time if you get a splinter. The blackbirds have just turned up a prayer spot for their bread. This is actually my prayer spot, which I come to daily. Pair of gloves for doing any work, and there's a bit of toilet paper there, but it's gone down a bit, so that needs filling up. So if you need the toilet, you know. Here's something that you'd use daily, a headlamp. Obviously when it goes dark, and you don't know until you're in these places, but you know, I was out in the wild in 2018. I was homeless, but I knew why, because God wanted to prepare me. Actually, you know, it's all right reading books or looking at YouTube videos, but until you actually go out there and do it yourself, you don't actually know. And me having my headlamp in the top of my bag was actually a good thing. So headlamp. But what I made an issue of was making sure it was USB, so that I can charge that from my generator. And you'll see my bigger Exodus pack, I have a big solar panelled generator which can easily charge that. But just staying on that topic there, I have a small battery, solar panelled battery bank with a USB, which I can use to just charge my phone up or charge something else up, headphones, whatever. But you know, in a survival situation of a couple of days, then you know, charging your phone up and calling for help, then, or communicating with someone else, you know, that's imperative, really, isn't it? And that's in the side pocket. But yeah, head torch, nighttime, absolutely needed. And there's a USB cable, one USB cable for the solar panel to charge whatever device. In fact, I used it yesterday. I come out to make a video and then realized that my battery was on the emergency, you know, going low, so I used that to charge my phone as I was making that video with the coat of arms. So usable. And there's just the spare zip bag there. So that was the top box, don't know why I keep saying box, top part of the bag. Also on my bag I have a whistle, in case, you know, I fall down a ditch or something, then at least, or break my legs or something, then at least I can call for help, innit? So, and when I was out in the wild, hang on, what I used to use was two towels. One would be a wet, dirty one, where I'd get up in the morning, I'd go down to the stream, I'd wash me bits, wash me armpits, wash me tackle, whatever, and then I'd leave that one out to dry. In fact, I'd hang it on the side of my bag if I was going somewhere, or if I was stationary, I could just hang it up on a washing line, or anything else you can hang it up on to dry. But then you'd have your dry one, so you keep them separate. You've got a dirty wet one and a dry one, so it's good to have two. Just trying to sort of keep everything in. Oh yeah, there you go. I don't really recommend, you know, bringing on a long exodus. I wouldn't really bring bars of soap with me, but when I was out in the wild, I did have soap. This is a soap holder. Obviously keeps you, because you got wet soap and it goes in there. So that's what I did use. I did have that in my bag when I was out in the wild. So a big box of soap. It didn't take a lot to clean your body. I mean, a couple of wipes on it, and boom, it could last a long time. And if you did take a few bars of soap with you, I mean, you could use it for trade even. So that's in the side pocket there. Okay, I'll just cover the rest of the side pockets and then we can move on to see what's inside. Here you've got a cover for my my bag. I never actually used this, but if it rains, obviously cover your bag. I did use this to actually wrap up some personal possessions, let's say. So that's in the side as well. And here you have, I just put it in the side there because I was trying to take up the side compartment, is the blow-up pillow. So that's just for comfort. It's not unnecessary, you know, needed. I mean, like I said, you can throw away a few of these things. I don't need that, because you can, sticking on that thingy of pillow, what I do have in the Exodus bag here, a good thing to have in your survival bag, some bin bags which are actually zip tie like that. So especially in autumn, you can maybe collect some matter together and make yourself a nice comfy bed with it, like a blow up. You know, you can collect get like a bag full of leaves, get a bag full of whatever, and you could even use one of them as your pillow. You could use like multiple ones as making your own sort of comfortable bed with. So first thing would be like cover. Here we have like a tarp, which can be used to create a shelter for yourself, or if you're looking at the long term, for my main Exodus pack I've actually got a tabernacle, a tent. So but one of these, a tarp at least, can protect you from the sun and protect you from the rain. So that's in the middle box. Here in this day pack I have a sleeping bag, okay, for obvious purpose, but I do like to use a thermal blanket, which is actually just been washed and is drying on the line, you know, today. But a sleeping a sleeping bag or some sort of blanket to keep you sort of warm. That's in the middle. That's pretty much the bulk of the middle. I've put them in kind of order of usability. That's another thing, that when you're out in the wild, is that you'll see that your things that you use like every day, like, you know, the head torch you use every night. So that's in my top bag, top compartment of my bag. So, you know, that's used more than probably anything apart from the tabernacle, and, you know, depending on where you are. So here we also have one of these quite strong plastic bags with a zip tie. This can be used to collect firewood, tinder for starting a fire, and that's just in with this. I've just crammed this in with this I don't know what you call them, these little tins for the what are they called? You know what they are anyway, don't you? Use them in the army a lot. And in this, so we've got calories, calories. I don't preach about stocking up loads of food or whatever, taking it with you, because it's going to run out at one point. I just trust in God. I mean, if he can rain bread out of heaven for Moses, then he can do the same for me. And, you know, you've got nature as well, which can provide, obviously in its seasons. And for a long-term Exodus, I've also got a seed bank, which I can just start growing my own stuff. I've got lots of seeds that I took out of vegetables and fruits that I can just start growing my own things straight away. But on a 1-2 day, you know, survival Exodus, I've just got like a nice flapjack there. It's quite thick and heavy, and there's a lot of energy in them and protein. So that's in there. And also just the simple spork. I don't usually carry these bits on a day-to-day basis. The rest of it I carry on a day-to-day basis when I go up to the mountain and for my daily prayer. Then I take these with me. But this tin and that I don't usually take, and the thermal flask I don't usually take because of, you know, I don't usually drink warm stuff. But today I was thinking about, you know, warm water, cooking and whatever, and so I thought, well, this can be used to boiling water, and, you know, the thermal flask, and if you wanted to eat anything, then there's a spork, which obviously I already have prepared because I've ordered these before. These are for the main Exodus bag, but I was thinking on a daily basis, if you wanted to cook something up for them 3 days, then there's your spork. You got a flapjack there for calories, but sorry, that plastic bag is just from the bread that I bought up for my birds in prayer swap. And then this plastic bag here, which can be used to carry things. That's in the main compartment. And then obviously most countries have seasons, so for insulation, like keeping heat in, you've got a pair of gloves and a nice thick woolly hat and a spare pair of socks. Now, even on a day-to-day basis, having a spare pair of socks and a spare t-shirt, actually, I forgot to put the t-shirt in. All these things are for my main Exodus, my big Exodus pack, are all wrapped up in zip bags at home. It's already prepared. I'm trying to give ideas, but you would need a change of socks would be nice, and a change of t-shirt would be nice. The rest of it is fine. And for cold weather, because most countries of the world have seasons, apart from if you by the equator, so gloves, hat, keep the heat in, go to bed. do have like an inflatable mat, but that's just mainly for comfort. Bible, and then we get into this little Exodus box that I've got prepared, like a little Tupperware box with little bits of stuff in. So let's just have a little butcher's. So we have fire, we have a lighter, we have some matches, and the match starter. So that's combustion. Compass, so you can see where you're going. Obviously you can be clever and use the sun, but clever arse, if the sun's not out and it's completely overcast, then you're not going to know where you're going. So compass. Cordage. I'm actually staying on the combustion just to cover it. Here we have a fire steel, so that's used to start fires. Like I say, if you get really good with this, you may not need to bring a lighter and matches, and then that's what I mean, you can throw away the matches and you just have your fire steel in your pack. Cordage. So I've got some paracord here. There must be about 20 feet, just enough to make put a tabernacle together. I also have a bit of smaller stuff, so there's a nice wrap of string there if you want to string some stuff up. Also could make a washing line. I think that covers cordage. Now more like casualty, so first aid. We've got like a bandage there, to if like you sprain your ankle or your knee or something. Got bandage. Got some cotton buds. I have a couple of ibuprofen painkillers there, and a couple of cocodamol painkillers. Some wet wipes. Some medical tape for taping on like the cotton bud. Some allergy tablets and another painkiller there. So just a couple of and they're only going to last you like a couple of days. And a pair of scissors for cutting anything, which can come in handy with the rest of your stuff. And you know, once you're actually out, you know, survival, whatever, Exodus, you might start to want to change these things around where you put them. You might want to keep the scissors on you. Oh, and another thing is that I've also got it would be handy to have a cutting tool, like a knife, but for legal reasons I can't actually bring a knife out with me, because in the UK it's illegal to have any blade that's over 3 inches on you in a public place. So I can't actually bring that out to show you today, but when the end of the age kicks in and the throne passes over and all the nations are left waste, there is not going to be many police and government around to stop you. So you know, you could go ahead and get yourself one. This is the one I recommend. I'll probably put it up on the video now. But you know, there's plenty out there. So scissors for cutting. I have a chocolate bar in there, so obviously that can go with container. Actually, I'll stick that in the cooking tin. Still can't remember the name of it. Just have some tissues there as well, so if you know, need tissues, have crap, whatever. And cover, so if you want to keep warm, you've got a space blanket there, aluminium sort of illuminated emergency rescue blanket, that's in the pack here. Also have a pencil. Now obviously you can use for writing stuff down and that, but if you're really stuck to make a fire, there you have a pencil sharpener. You can, or you can use the pencil sharpener and you take a stick and you sharpen the stick. You'll actually get filings, shavings off the stick, so you can go like this and make yourself some tinder for starting a fire. So that's a good one. I also have here a glow stick, in which you could attach your string or you could attach your paracord, and let's say you need rescuing in a rescue situation, or you want to signal someone, where are you, I'm up the mountain, or whereabouts. Wait until dark and then look and I'll show you, and then you do your glow stick and you spin around in the air, and you see that from miles away. So that was all what was in the little Tupperware box that I had. Excuse me. And yeah, that is really all that is in my Exodus bag. So we've covered the seas, we've got cover, tarp, sleeping blanket, a space blanket if we needed it, we've got combustion, we've got a fire steel, we've got a lighter. Oh yeah, by the way, the lighter, if you noticed, had duct tape around it. Quite a few rolls of duct tape around it. So if you needed duct tape for whatever instance, duct tape can come in so handy. There's duct tape around the lighter. I don't know if... See close up, you see the lighter. You see the silver, the duct tape around it. So yeah, we've got combustion, lighter, matches with the starter. We've got fire steel, combustion. We've also got the pencil sharpener for sharpening wood, sharpening sticks to get a tinder off of it. We've also got our yellow bag for when we're on the way, collecting tinder as we go and put it in, because this can just throw over our shoulder. This can just throw over our shoulder and be tucked out the way, and then a bit of tinder in the bag as we go. Okay, so we've got cover, combustion. We had some sort of calories. We had the flapjack, we had the chocolate bar and that, but I wouldn't go too far into that. We had Canteen, one cold flask, one thermo flask. We had Casualty. We had quite a bit of first aid, painkillers. We've got soap for washing. We've got 2 towels, one wet dirty and one dry. We've got, and we have compass for seeing our way. We had cordage, we had paracord and string, we had glow sticks for signalling, and a whistle for signalling as well, which is strapped on there. We have light, we have USB charged nightlight, we have gloves for working, we have a USB battery bank for charging thus USB devices, phone, head torch, whatever. But in the bigger Exodus pack you'll see that there's a bigger generator. So yeah, I just run through them as quite detailed and as quite short and as I possibly can. So these are just the things I've got as a basic. But then again, some things can get thrown away or blown away. So yeah, I've been Pastor Justin Roberts anyway from End of the Age Bible Prophecy, just preparing for the Exodus which will come, where saints will have to flee into the mountains away from the destruction of the Lord, and then we should maybe even exodus to new lands. So I've been Pastor Justin Roberts from End of the Age Bible Prophecy. God bless you all. I hope you have a good day and weekend, and Shabbat Shalom. Amen.